Astros going up against the Chicago White Sox. All right, the stage is set for what should be a really good game one as this series gets underway. Introductions wrapping up down on the field, and first pitch just minutes away. John Shambi on play-by-play. Chris Singleton providing the color. Singy, this should be fun.
Well, you can feel the energy in the ballpark, and these two teams have fought through so much adversity to get here. When you get here, you forget about individual statistics and you play for the team. When a team is able to do that, they see themselves go to another level, and I'm looking forward to seeing that tonight.
You can feel the energy in this building. They are fired up for game one. Back with that after this. Chip series, it's the Houston Astros. So almost ready to get underway. And on the hill, Bryce Wilson. Chris, what should we keep an eye on here with him?
It's always interesting to see how he utilizes all of his pitches and how many of those he has a good feel for on that given day. When he's right, he's really able to keep hitters guessing, and all of his stuff seems to be coming out of the same arm slot, the same tunnel, and that can make life very difficult on his opponents.
Hard grounder into the outfield for a knock. Rounds third, headed for the plate. He'll score, and it's an RBI single, and it's 1-0.
Picks himself up an RBI. Really nice job staying up the middle with his approach. He didn't try to do too much with the pitch, just shot it through the infield.
So up next for Chicago, Derek Foreman. Fair to say he wasn't his typical self in the division series. Chris, I talked to the staff, and they are confident that he's going to deliver big here in the LCS.
Yeah, you see these guys around him, and they know he's a stud, and they know it's just a matter of one swing that he breaks out.
That one the other way, and a base hit right there. Throw back in quickly. First and second now with nobody out.
Well, clearly he was ready to hit right there. Nice job of driving that pitch the other way on a line. You know, hitters, they take so many reps in the cages working on going to the opposite field, and it doesn't always translate into the game, but right there it did, and he did it perfectly.
First and second, no outs. Benintendi getting ready to hit. And that'll load the bases.
So here we go again with the walks. It's been a real struggle finding the zone for him in the past. Now, even if they get out of this jam, these walks add pressure and stress to the entire team.
The other way, makes the catch, one down.
Batting it, the catcher.
So bases loaded with one away. And here's the rookie catcher, Kyle Teal. This one is blasted. A no-outer. Grand slam. They must be going crazy in the dugout. It's 4-3.
This crowd is on fire right now. They're going nuts thanks to that home run. One big swing, and that turns the tables on this one. And when you come to the plate with the bases loaded and you've got some pop, you know it's hard not to think about the chance to hit a grand slam. And that could be a trap sometimes, but not right here. He sees the opportunity, put a great swing on it, and now they're working with the lead.
One down. Yainer Diaz, the next to hit. This is a guy who is very highly regarded defensively. Fun to watch him control stuff behind the plate. Good game caller, good at framing, but it's that big arm that really stands out. On the ground. Throws to second for one. To first. Nice pick. Double play. And that's the inning. No runs, one hit, no errors, and no one left. We head down to the home half of inning number 3. White Sox 4 and the Astros 3. Two outs, bases empty.
The first baseman, Derek Foreman.
There's a swing and a drive. That one back there. You can kiss it goodbye. He nails one out to right. It's 5-3.
Sitting first pitch fastball, and that's what he delivered. He guessed right, squared it up, and he made it look way too easy. There's a big grin on his face right now, Boog. He's probably had some of those that didn't stay fair, but off the bat, it looked like it was going to be foul. Was able to keep it in there, tucked it nicely, and he gets the jog around the bases. Good for him.
Far off foul. Gotta love the intensity of postseason baseball. Players on both sides at such a high level of emotion. Everything is amplified. That's way outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Talk about that intensity, Boo. It comes out of everybody. Think about celebrations by players like Carlos Correa, Jose Bautista, Kirk Gibson. Just iconic moments.
Got him. That's out number 2. Back here on the south side. On to the bottom of the 8th. And now the first baseman, Derek Foreman. There's the strike.
Getting a little frustrated with the strike zone.
Oh, he doesn't get the call. And that's ball 1.
Home plate umpires trying to tighten things up a little bit.
Ripped on the ground to second. Throws to first in time. 1 gone to the bottom of the 8th.
That's a huge defensive play in the late stages of the game. It might not be the most challenging to be made. That's helping your team.
And now Oscar Colas. One strike away from securing game 1. Walker steps on the bag himself. Ball game. Foreman, certainly not the reason they lost this game. 2 hits, including that long ball.
Can't say enough about what he did for him in this one. They lost, but it was in spite of his huge effort. It's easy to see why he's a key contributor for him.
So, Chris, here's a look at the final numbers from what turned out to be a really close ball game.
Yeah, this is one of those games that clearly could have gone either way, and that's kind of exactly what you expect out of postseason baseball. So competitive.
1-run game here today. Your final score, 7-6. For Chris Singleton and our entire crew, I'm John Shambi saying so long. And welcome into the ballpark. Happy to have you with us. We've got the American League Championship Series on the show. It's the Houston Astros going up against the Chicago White Sox. Alongside Chris Singleton, I'm John Shambi. A big game 2 in store for us here today, Chris.
Well, winning game 1 on the road was huge, Boog, and they can put a stranglehold on this series with a win here in this one, and that's obviously the goal. You want to go back home off 2-0 with a chance to wrap up the series in your own ballpark for sure.
And if it goes the other way and the series gets to 1-1, it's a total reset as we change venues for the next 3 games. First pitch coming at you right after the break. Just about set to go. And on the hill in this one, Davis Martin. What do you got on him, Chris?
Boogie pitched into the 7th, earned the W in his last start. He really needed that one. Well, his team needs another one today. We'll see if he can carry that performance into this game.
First and second, 1 out. Foreman digs in now. Delivers a pitch in for a strike at 95.
At this point, the clean inning is over. Got to settle in, focus on the hitter, and get out of it with minimal damage.
Now the 0-1. Swings through that.
It's great to get on the board in the first frame of the ball game, but here's an opportunity for them to really open things up with a couple of runners on. Let's see if they can cash in.
No, that's down.
Squirts away a little bit. To third. Tag. Got him. That one misses. 2-2.
2-2.
One run across in the frame so far here in game 2 of the American League Championship Series.
We got a full count.
3-2, 2 out, runner on first. A lot of movement in the infield. Hitters got to stay focused on the pitch.
3-2. Swing and a ball ripped right field. And that one back, and that one is gone. A 2-run homer. His second over this series, and they throw a pair on the board. It's 3-0. Chris, he's homered in back-to-back games now.
Yep, seeing the ball well, and he's got his timing locked in. He's looking pretty dangerous at the dish right now. Well, the intentional walk definitely backfired on him right there. And they thought they were setting themselves up for a better situation, but when you're coming to the plate in that spot, there's nothing you want to do more than make them regret pitching to you instead. And that feels great, and it definitely lights a fire under your teammates.
Here's the third baseman, Isaac Paredes.
Hitter's got some good opposite field power. What I like about something being hit to the right side into the outfield is that the base runner at second has a very good read and can determine whether or not he can score on that base hit.
To third, can't get him. On the second, but he's in there. Safe. A run comes in the play. Runner at second, 2 down.
First baseman, Garrett Foreman.
In for a strike. Went with the sweeper.
When you're struggling out there on the mound, hitters know that there'll be plenty of opportunities within the at-bat to try to get something to hit hard.
That one is lifted in the air. Brings it in, and that is the inning. So 1 left for the White Sox, but they still lead it 3-1. Runner on at first with one gone. Now it's Brendan Rodgers.
You have to be careful throwing him breaking pitches, even in an 0-0 count. He loves going after the off-speed stuff, and he's really good at hitting it.
Rodgers, a former Gold Glove winner, 28 years old, a former first-round pick back in 2015. On the ground left side, 6-4.
That's it.
3, it's a double play, and that'll do it for the inning. So they make short work of them there. On now to the bottom of the 4th. It's the White Sox 3 and the Astros 1. Second game of the ALCS. And here's the first baseman, Derek Foreman. Foreman launched a homer in his most recent game. That one ripped. That's back. You can kiss it goodbye. Another homer. His second home run of the game, and they tack on to their lead. It's 4-1.
To the game. First pitch out of the bullpen, a tough one. And you know he's just trying to get one in there for a strike. And on the other side, as a hitter, it's a great time to be aggressive and let it fly. It's not what they were looking for when they turned to him, but now he's got to find a way to reset.
Runner in scoring position, nobody out. Here in the late stages of game 2. That's a hit. Rounds third, headed for the plate. He'll score. Now the tag at second, and he's out. Trying for 2. Derek Foreman steps to the plate for the White Sox. Lifted in the air, right center field. Duvall on the move to the alley. Tracks it down for the out. And there's one away.
Every day during batting practice, these outfielders get about 10 minutes of balls in the gaps. They make the play perfectly.
And now it's Christian Walker. Murphy is just one strike away. That one back up the middle, and it gets through. Joey gets on base and keeps it going.
That's tremendous fight from him, and I know he's got the dugout fired up down there. Down to the last strike, and he comes up with a hit to keep the game alive. It ain't over yet.
So next up for Houston, Yainer Diaz. This is a guy who is very highly regarded defensively. Fun to watch him control stuff behind the plate. Good game caller, good at framing, but it's that big arm that really stands out. Hit to right, and that ought to do it. And he's got it. Ball game. And the White Sox hold on to win a tight one as this one ends as a one-run ball game. Foreman had a sensational showing in the win. 2 homers on the day.
But can't say enough about what he did for him in this one. He's a big reason they got the W, and it's easy to see why he's a key contributor for him.
So, Chris, here's a look at the final numbers from what turned out to be a really close ball game.
Yeah, this is one of those games that clearly could have gone either way, and that's kind of exactly what you expect out of postseason baseball. So competitive.
4-3 our final score. They hang on to win it by a run. For Chris Singleton and our entire crew here at MLB The Show, thanks for stopping by. I'm John Shambi. Talk to you soon. the Chicago White Sox taking on the Houston Astros. It's buzzing in here ahead of Game 3. And we'll be back in a minute to get it started. Along with Chris Singleton, I'm John Shampi. We're looking forward to what's sure to be a dramatic Game 3, Chris.
Well, when a team starts a series on the road and comes away with a split in the first 2 games, they've essentially taken over home field advantage. So the last thing these guys want to do now is give it right back by dropping this one. And these fans know that just as much as the players.
And the atmosphere here is electric. And this figures to be about as intense as postseason baseball gets. Festivities wrapping up. The crowd is electric. And we'll be back to get it going right after this. Just about ready to roll here. And starting this one, Hunter Brown.
Well, I'm interested to see how he utilizes his sinker to this lineup here. You know, it's not necessarily his go-to primary pitch, but he does mix it in when he needs it. He's just got to make sure that it's not flat. Otherwise, it's going to get hit hard. So look for him to throw it up there when he needs a big double play, a ground ball, something like that to get out of an inning, change it up for a hitter. Also, get those hitters looking down so that it opens up the top of the strike zone, especially late in an at-bat.
That one back up the middle, and it gets through. Walker headed for the plate. He'll score. Now to tag at third, and they got it. That ends the inning and stops things from getting out of hand. But 2 runs form, and they jump ahead. On to the second inning now from Dyken Park. It's the Astros 2 and the White Sox nothing. Here in Game 3 of the American League Championship Series. Digging in, Derek Foreman. Brown in his 4th year, 26 years old, and he was a 5th-round pick back in 2019. And takes low for ball 1. Nothing like postseason baseball. There's a buzz in the air. Every pitch seems bigger. It's truly special. And that's off the inside edge. Now 2-0.
There really is a different feel to the postseason. I only got 5 games of postseason action in my playing career, but I treasured each of them.
And that's fouled off. That one is absolutely belted. Back there. You can kiss it goodbye. He sends it out of here. That's his 4th home run of the series. And they're on the board. It's 2-1. That's his 3rd straight game with a homer, Singy.
This dude is on fire, Boone. These kinds of streaks just don't come around too often. It's like he's playing wiffle ball up there, and that's typically not the easiest way to hit a home run. The slight opposite field into the gap. Man, making it look easy, that's for sure.
Man at first, one away.
Foreman.
And immediately pumps in a strike to the left-handed hitter. That one close, ruled the ball. And it's a ball to strike. And there's the ball.
2 balls, 1 strike.
Rolled to short, possible 2-ball. On to second, they get 1, and that's 2. 1 hit in the inning, but no one left. We're midway in the 4th. It's the Astros 3 and the White Sox 1. Two outs, bases are full.
Foreman.
Foreman with a couple of homers in his last game. Packed house here at Dyken Park. And there's a strike.
Tough situation right here. It's so important as a pitcher to get ahead in the count as he did right there.
Swung on, belted. And that one hops the wall. Here comes Gallo. The relay. The tag out. That ends the inning, but 2 runs do score. But 9 batters hit in the inning. 5 come around to score. Last half of the 5th coming up. It's the White Sox 6 and the Astros 3. So bases all loaded up. Here's the former MVP, Jose Altuve.
It's been such a good hitter with runners in scoring position. Some guys just take it to another level. For him right now at the plate, it's like everyone else is in slow motion and he's in full speed.
Hit on the ground to short. Montgomery. Throws to first in time. And they get Altuve for the out. Out to escape a bases-loaded jam unscathed. Nice work from the White Sox pen. On to the 7th now. Bases loaded. Nobody out. Foreman digs in now. He's already homered here in this one.
Well, he's so good about trying to drive the ball to the opposite field gap in these situations. If he takes that approach, he could bust this game wide open.
First pitch just misses.
The opportunity for a huge inning exists right here. Bases loaded, nobody out. But as a hitter, can't be over anxious. That pitcher is up against the wall. Make him come to you.
Ground ball could be 2. Zapini at second for 1. They get the out, but the run scores on the twin kill.
For me, that's one of the toughest double plays to turn on the infield. The first baseman has to get inside, create a throwing lane to hit that middle infielder to start the double play, and then from there completing it back to first. Really good job all the way around.
And now it's Christian Walker.
If you don't get ahead in the count, you can forget about having any success against him.
White is just 1 strike away. Got him, and that's the ball game.
Game 3s are very critical when you have a series tied at 1-1 because you put yourself up. Anytime you go down, you're always chasing. When you're up in the series, you feel like you're in the driver's seat. Nice win today.
The final in this one. For Chris Singleton and our entire crew here at MLB The Show, thanks for stopping by. I'm John Shambi. Talk to you soon. From Dyken Park in Houston, we've got the American League Championship Series on the show. It's the Chicago White Sox taking on the Houston Astros. With my partner, Chris Singleton, I'm John Shambi. And Singy, there's been a lot to talk about already in this series as we head into Game 4.
Well, if the first 3 games are any indication, this has the look of a series that'll go all the way to Game 7, Boog. I think this is a classic matchup, and we've seen momentum change course a few times already. But I'll tell you what, I think whoever takes this one will be feeling really good about their chances the rest of the way.
Yeah, that's a good point. We've seen it before. Even when you're down 2-1, it seems like a win in Game 4 can propel you to a series win more often than not. All right, we'll be back to get this one started after this. All right, just about set to go. And on the mound now, Framber Valdez. How about a scouting report on him?
Try to stay back for that power changeup. Speed differential between the fastball and the changeup is huge. Hitters, they have a hard time staying back.
2 on, 1 out. Foreman now at the plate.
Foreman.
So all eyes on the double play ball in this spot. No better way to get out of this inning.
And fouled off. Packed house here at Dyken Park. Two on, 1 out. That one the other way. Could be extra bases. Runner around third. He scores and they have the lead. Dubon with a quick throw back in. Runner holds at third, so just 1 across on the play.
Puts a run on the board and picks up an RBI. Just a really nice approach to shoot that line drive to the opposite field. There's a lot of hard work and discipline that goes into getting a result like that at the plate. Doesn't come naturally for most hitters.
And here is Sosa to the plate.
In the grand scheme of things, this at-bat might not feel important because it's early, but it could create a domino effect for things to come. Control what you can here and have a strong at-bat.
On the ground to the left. Paredes fires over to first. 2 down. So runner at second, 2 down. Benintendi to the plate. Runner at second, 2 down. Here in Game 4 of the ALCS. Ground ball to the right side. He'll do it himself. They limit the damage here. But 2 runs for him and they jump ahead. Bottom half of inning number 1 coming up. It's the White Sox 2, the Astros coming to bat. And now it's Christian Walker.
The first baseman, Christian Walker.
Runners at first and second with 1 gone. Hit on the ground might be 2. There's 1. Out. Throws in the dirt, but he scoops it. And the double play ends the inning. So no runs here on a base hit, no errors, and 1 left. On to the second inning now from Dyken Park. It's the White Sox 2 and the Astros nothing. One out, base is empty.
The first baseman, Derek Foreman.
The drama always heightened in the postseason, and it leads to some really special moments. That one catches the zone, and it's 0-1.
Well, one special postseason memory for me, Boog, was facing Pedro Martinez, Game 5 of the ALDS in Oakland, and man, hit a double off the wall. Great feeling for a guy who would eventually go into the Hall of Fame.
That clips the zone. 1 and 2. Valdez was recently named Pitcher of the Month for some outstanding work on the mound. Still 2 and 2 after the foul ball.
No question that he earned that Pitcher of the Month award, Boog. He was just dominant. String together enough of those, and you can expect some other hardware on the mantle.
Swings through it, and that's a strikeout.
He had him out in front, which isn't easy to do against a hitter like this, known for using the entire field. Just couldn't sit back long enough on that one.
Ball. One down, base is empty. And a foul ball. Lifted in the air, out to left. Alvarez makes the catch for the out. And there's 2 away.
Now that second baseman, Lenny.
Now it's Brendan Rodgers.
Second baseman, Rogers.
Tying run at the plate. Second, and he's out. Time for 2. But they do get a run. And next will be the cleanup hitter, Derek Foreman. That's in there. 0-1. Ball 1 there. And it is 2-1. Headed towards the corner. Garrett on the run towards the line. Snags it on the run. And there's 2 down.
Well, those can be pretty fun as an outfielder. Got to put it into his highest gear and go a long way to track that one down. Nothing better than that. You feel like a wide receiver playing football. Well, comfortable or not, these are the situations closers they seem to live for. When you get into some hot water, a jam, tough spot, whatever you want to call it. But this is where they earn their keep.
Swing and a ground ball out to short. Throw to first. Ball game. And the White Sox take a big 3 games to 1 lead here in the series.
Well, this was a huge win for this team. Instead of 2-2 in the series, they're comfortably now 3-1. One more win, and they take the series.
Not a ton of offense to chat about as we look at the final numbers, but this was a good one.
Yeah, it was a low-scoring game, Boog, but sometimes those can be the best, especially this time of year.
3-2 the final score. For Chris Singleton and our entire outstanding crew here at MLB The Show, I'm John Shambi saying so long. From Daikin Park in Houston, we've got the American League Championship Series on the show. It's the Chicago White Sox taking on the Houston Astros. Alongside Chris Singleton, I'm John Shambi. It's been quite a series so far, and the excitement's only ramping up as we get ready for Game 5.
Well, being down 3-1, calling it a do-or-die game is no exaggeration, but these situations tell us a lot about a team's character, and for some teams, it brings out their absolute best, but for others, it kind of proved to be an overwhelming scenario to face, and so we'll see how they show up here today.
And we'll also get to see what kind of killer instinct they have on the other side. Some teams can get a little too relaxed when they're so comfortably in the driver's seat. First pitch coming at you right after the break. Just about set, and towing the slab here, Ronel Blanco. Chris, what are you looking for from him?
Four-pitch guy, he's got some options to work with in terms of keeping hitters off balance. So we'll see how he decides to utilize those weapons through this start here, and whether or not he's able to mix them all in early, or if he wants to hold something back a little bit later, maybe second, third time through the order, and give them something they haven't seen. It's tough when you know a guy's got that in his back pocket. As a hitter, you really have to stay on your toes.
Little chopper rolls foul.
Pretty good pitch there to take a rip at. He wants to get his arms extended. He likes the ball away from him a little bit, just not able to square it up.
And that drops in for a strike. Chris, you and I have gotten to work some memorable postseason games together. One I look back on, 2013 ALCS Game 2, the David Ortiz Grand Slam. Foul ball still a 1-2 count.
For me, Boo, the game I remember is us calling the 2014 AL wildcard game. The Kansas City Royals hosting the Oakland A's. The Royals come from behind to win in extra innings and move on to the division series. They had such a great run that it ended up in the World Series losing to the San Francisco Giants.
Headed towards the corner, and that is a foul ball. Check swing didn't go. The count now 2-2. And that one upstairs. Spoils the two-strike pitch, and he'll see another.
5 foul balls in this at-bat so far, and these two are going head-to-head. You can see the crowd. They're starting to get into it a little bit more and more each pitch, even though there hasn't been a ball in play yet.
Oh, great stop from his backside. Nicely done for the out.
Cat-like reflexes on that one. Makes the dive, has to get up. Clean exchange to throw a strike across the diamond. And what a tremendous play.
Now back, the first baseman, Garrett Bowman.
Outside low, 1-0.
1-0.
That's out to center field. And that is that. So one left for the White Sox. They trail here 1-0.
The bat, the first baseman,
Foreman goes 6 feet 5 inches, just 21 years old, and he's a former Rookie of the Year. Swings and misses. It's 0-1.
Well, with the tying run at first base, he's looking for something he can get a lot of barrel on, drive it into a gap, and score that run from first base.
With the go-ahead run at the plate here in Game 5 of the ALCS.
Ball 1. I got a ball, 1 strike.
And that one is lifted in the air. Dubon should have this one. Squeezes it. And that's the third out. So another good inning for him on the mound. 6 shutout innings now. It's the Astros 1 and the White Sox nothing. One out, base is empty. Derek Foreman steps to the plate for the White Sox. 0 for 3 with 2 flyouts and a ground out. And that's in there for strike 1. Base is empty, 1 away here in the late stages of Game 5. Not close with that one, and that's ball 1. Ground ball, Walker takes it to the bag, steps on first, and it's out number 2.
Now batting, left fielder, Andrew Benintendi.
Big spot late in this one, and here's Christian Walker.
Walker.
With the go-ahead run at the plate here in Game 5 of the ALCS. Ground ball up the middle. That's a base hit. Runner around third. He'll score.
Such great concentration. Everybody on their feet, knowing that you can come through with a good swing. And there he doesn't try to do too much.
And now Derek Foreman. High fly ball, right field. This could go the distance. Home run. That's his 5th homer of the series. It's 4-3. He only needed 1 swing to square it up.
Not wasting any time in that at bat, Boog. Aggressive, and it paid off. No doubt in my mind, just about everybody in this ballpark holding their breath on that one. I tell you, just barely snuck it inside the foul pole, and talk about a huge swing. That's it in this ball game. We'll see.
Here's Mauricio Dubon. One strike away. Lifted to left, and this should do it. And it's celebration time. They are champions of the American League.
Congratulations to the American League champions. These players have worked hard all season long, and their hard work has paid off. Now, off to the World Series. This team can...
For my partner, Chris Singleton, and our entire outstanding crew, thank you for watching the American League Championship Series on MLB The Show.